with what I thought was a good observation defensively. Did you guys play well defensively? It looked like you did. You forced 25 turnovers. Of course, their point guard in the 12 turnovers.
Well, if you count, which we do, rebounding a part of defense, we sucked. I think we're getting better, staying in front of our guy. We don't rebound the ball. We just stand around and watch, and that's got to get fixed in a hurry.
The question is, can the rebounding get fixed? Do you have guys that can do it, or just have to learn fundamentals, or just efficient?
Well, if they want to play, they'll learn. If they don't want to play, they won't.
When you see Taz get hurt or limping, how worrisome is that? Apparently it was just cramp, so it didn't have
He's
to
been
be.
doing that.
Uh-huh.
I think he did that in the charity game. He does it in practice. He's just he's lost 6 or 7 pounds of practice. So. He's a tough kid. He'll be back.
Good to play a zone, to play against the zone.
That's a different zone. That's Greg does a great job with it, and I think everybody has a hard time adjusting to it, and they cover a lot of ground. But if we had somebody who could score it close, they probably wouldn't have been able to stay in it as long as they stayed in it. We just don't score the ball close. How many times you see a guy catch the ball from a foot and airball it? And that's not one guy, it's a whole host of guys.
Do you anticipate seeing a lot of zone because of your perimeter players and what you said you don't have to do?
I wouldn't think so, Mike. I think they'd be more inclined to chase those guys than they would play zone.
Coach, I was asking Taz about, like, if you thought there was a need for, like, him and Sean early in the season to, like, maybe just be more aggressive, bring everyone else along for the ride until everyone gets on the same page, and he kind of felt that there was more of a need to try to get everyone on the same page early and have them be more aggressive. Just kind of want to know what your thoughts are there.
Well, and I think I told you guys this the other day. I was kind of excited about the fact that I thought we would have a bunch of guys we could surround the line with, being Taz, being Sean, being JB, for that matter, being a big fella, because Isaiah can step out there and shoot it, and we could spread the defense then, and then Malik and Keedy could attack the rim. Could attack the rim, and if they overhelp, pitch it, and if they don't overhelp, try to finish at the rim. But we haven't made shots. Taz made some big ones for us, and Sean made a couple, but neither one of them are shooting the ball the way they shot the ball early. And JB's not shooting it the way he shot it early. So we got to get, if and when we get all those 3 guys clicking at the same time, we're going to be really hard to guard. But at this point, they're not doing that, and we can't throw it close. We generally speaking have had somebody we could throw it close to. I mean, even if that a lot of times it was Deshaun, but we were able to throw it close, with Sags and on are the guys that we had, and we can throw it close. We can't make a shot. How many times you seen guys shoot air balls from a foot? I mean, I've seen it in Biddy Ball. I used to coach Biddy Ball. I used to see it happen a lot, but not this level.
The rim's only 5 feet high.
No, Biddy Ball. No, not in Tuscarawas County, baby. It's 10 feet.
I was going to say that as far as getting offensively going, is that really the first step then, getting those three guys, Sean, JB, Taz?
Well, I mean, they can only shoot so much,
Right.
and it's not they're not working at it. They are. They just in the way I'm seeing it, they're not lifting it. They're shooting it flat. How many of them you see hit the rim and bounce over top like a ways? That's shooting it flat. Or banging it off the front of the rim. That's shooting it flat. We've got to get them to lift it better. Taz lifts it better off the bounce than he does off a catch and shoot.
This is a dangerous question, but take me inside your head when they get 4 straight offensive rebounds in the first half there. They are almost uncontested.
I don't know if I should say it. We're going to rebound until we got some black and blue butts tomorrow. How's that? That was a good way of putting it. We're going to block out and block out and block out and block out tomorrow.
Bob, is taking a charge in art a natural skill, and where is Gabe in terms of the guys you've seen doing it?
He's one of the best. He's one of the best. He does a great job getting his feet down. I mean, a terrific job of getting his feet down. That's the key to it. I think it's a hard thing to officiate, and I didn't understand all the mechanics of it. I was irate with the guy who called the block on Gabe, which was a charge, the Gonzaga game a year ago, because that would have given us a great chance to beat the number 1 ranked team in the country in the first game of the year. Well, it wasn't our first, it was after wherever we were. Where were we? North Dakota? South Dakota. South Dakota. Anyway, he just does a great job, but what officials have to officiate, they start to officiate the drive, and so they're really not looking at the guy over underneath there. And so now they've got to figure out, did the guy get his feet down? You know, did he have part of his foot in the circle? You know, was he fully out of the circle? Did he did the guy start his ascent and he kind of stepped under him? There are a lot of things going on. I think that's one of the hardest plays in basketball to officiate.
Fair to say that you might not win that game without Gabe tonight.
Oh, I think that's more than fair, Bob.
He brings a different life into it.
He brings great energy and a great understanding of how to play. You know, he's not a very good shooter. His ball handling has gotten better. His passing has gotten a little better. But he brings so much enthusiasm, so much want to, and at the same time, I think he has worked really hard since the exhibition game on not fouling, because he had a tendency to reach, and you know, sometimes you get the ball, sometimes you get an arm. And we've really tried to work with him on not reaching.
Coach, for the most part, I might be wrong on this, but I mean, it was basically just man up on their point guard, right? Keaty and Malik, basically.
Yeah, until about halfway through the second half.
I mean, he obviously led the nation in assists last year, but he turns the ball over 13 times. What does that?
Well, I thought Keaty was really good. I thought Keaty was good. I thought Malik was good. But they had a lot of help the second half of the second half. But
Not bad.
Hey, Bob, between your guards, those 3 you mentioned, 2 I guess, Kobe's pretty big, Seth is pretty big. With your length and your speed and your size, you can kind of wear on some point guards throughout this year. The other team point guard.
we're going to try. The object of defense is to disrupt the offense. And if they can disrupt the offense, then they're going to play more. And there's various ways to do that. They did a great job. Oakland did a great job of disrupting us offensively.
Anything else?
Let me ask another question about offense, because I'm really just kind of wondering, the biggest difference, like, last year you had a point guard who, any given night could get you 20 or 18 or whatever. I mean, he was probably been playing pretty well. This year, points are going to come from guys off the ball. I'm guessing. What's the differences, the adjustments there? I mean, are they big?
I think Deuces was probably better off the bounce. Although Taz is good. I mean, Taz is really good. He's different than Deuce. But Deuces primarily came off the bounce, where Sean's comes off the catch. Now, I think Taz can do a little bit of both, but he's not a point. He's more an off guard. But that's not our biggest loss. Our biggest loss is Derek. He could make hard baskets. He could get hard rebounds. You never saw Derek shoot one over the rim like that. I mean, he missed some. But he generally got it back after he missed it. We just don't have anybody in there who can score it close. And it's hard when you can't score it close, man. It's hard.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.